Hey guys, so today I want to talk about a few things you should never do on your iPhone. Now, oftentimes we turn into habits that we believe actually improve the user experience when they actually do the opposite. So today I'm going to go over a few things that I can recommend you stop doing or never do on your iPhone in order to improve performance, privacy, battery life, and overall user experience. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is a low power mode. Some iPhone users use low power mode all day long. Now, low power mode is a feature designed to slow down your iPhone's performance in order to help you get through the rest of your day while preserving the battery life. Now, if you use low power mode all day, you're also making the user experience a lot worse for yourself. You're also slowing down the network performance, Wi-Fi performance, and CPU performance on your iPhone. Now, take a look at this benchmark here. This is a benchmark performance test on this iPhone 16 Pro Max. Right there you see no low power mode enabled. Take a look at the numbers here. Single core score is 3,398, and then the multi-core score is 8,478. Now, a few minutes later, I enabled low power mode and ran the same benchmark performance test. Take a look at the number drop here. So we have 1,393 single core score performance versus the standard performance. That's a 2,000 point drop in performance alone, single core score. And the multi-core performance is even worse. We have 4,016 versus the standard 8,478. So you're basically cutting the performance in half if you use low power mode all day. So if you're doing that, I'd recommend you stop doing so. Next, I want to talk about app tracking, and this is one of those features that I think you should look into and probably just disable altogether. You can find it in settings, under privacy and security, and under tracking right here. Now, you can manage the feature per app, so you can enable or disable each individual app, as you can see right here, or you can go to the settings on the top here and just turn off tracking altogether for all applications and prevent any future tracking or requests for future tracking, as you can see right here. So you can choose from allow apps to continue to track for the ones that you may have enabled, or you can ask apps to stop tracking altogether for future updates and things like that. So right now I only had YouTube, but I just turned it off. And app tracking is just one of those features that obviously, for those of you that don't want to be tracked, obviously you want to turn it off. And number two, it just consumes a lot of battery power because it's constantly looking for relevant information as you use your device to serve relevant ads within apps. So I recommend you turn off app tracking. Next, I want to talk about multitasking. Your app's running in the background here in the app switcher. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably guilty of this one. I've been guilty of this before. So let's say you launch an application. Once you're done using the app, you go ahead and close the app out. And you may not want to do this. Honestly, you're using more network performance, you're using more battery life by closing all your applications in the app switcher one by one. It just uses more battery because your iPhone has to reload everything. Let me give you an example here. So let's say I launch the App Store. Right here you see the app is running. I can go ahead and send it into the background just like so. iOS is designed to freeze the app there, and no more activity will be happening until you relaunch the application, and then it resumes where you left off. However, if you close the app out completely just like so, then it has to reload. Take a look at the screen there. You see it reloads everything. So that consumes more battery life. You keep in mind, if you do this with 10 apps every single day, it's constantly reloading everything, using more battery life. Now, the one thing you can do is actually prevent a background activity by going into settings here, going under general, and then going into background app refresh right here. And you can manage the background activity per app individually right here. You'll still get your notifications if you turn off the background activity for any application, but this way it will actually freeze everything in place and not refreshing in the background while still preserving the actual state of the application and helping you preserve the battery life as well. So if you're guilty of closing out apps here in the background, just don't do that, because if you do that for all your apps every single day constantly, you're just using more battery and more resources from your device. Now, last but not least, never allow access to Control Center from the lock screen of your iPhone. So if your iPhone is locked, and this is on by default, okay, so you have to manually turn this off. Anyone that steals your phone, or if you ever lose your phone, anyone can go into Control Center without unlocking your phone and enabling the airplane mode option. Now, the reason someone may want to do this is because obviously this gives them the power to have your phone while you can't have access to your phone, or send messages or calls, or even a remote wipeout to delete all the data from your phone. If airplane mode is on, you can't do none of that. So I recommend you disable the access to Control Center from the lock screen of your iPhone by jumping into settings, heading over into the Face ID and passcode options, enter here your passcode, and then scroll down, and right here you see you have access within the lock screen. There it is, control center option. Turn that off. And from now on, if anyone was to steal your phone, or if you ever lose your phone, no one can access that control center, and you can have that extra peace of mind. So there you guys have it. These are a few things I recommend that you never do on your iPhone to improve the user experience, improve privacy, and more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.